Alright guys, welcome back to Survival Living here. So today is a video that's actually been requested we bring back. We used to do a lot of outdoor gym. You know, I used to do a lot of working out and showing basic fitness training and stuff, guys, because as preppers, we need to work on our bodies. Doing outdoor survival, I rely on my body all the time. And of course, getting older, yeah, it's a big plus too. So guys, you don't have to be all swelled up and whatever else shot up to get in shape. That actually is one of the worst things ever, because that's always using steroids. Now I do take supplements, of course I do. They help the recovery time in my body. Main thing is your diet and your exercise. So guys, before you do any type of exercise program here on YouTube, even the stuff that I have shown in the past, I do recommend speak to your doctor first. Because if that ticker is bad, you don't want to be doing half the training and stuff that I'm doing. But the fact is, I was injured and I gained weight, and then I got injured again, and then I got sick and I got laid up and just got weak and feeble. Yeah, pneumonia can do that to you. So back at it again. Unfortunately, with my type of trade, my job, the type of work I do is physically demanding because, you know, I keep pushing. I don't just sit back on the sidelines and let other people do things. Unfortunately, with my job, even though I'm the better welder than the entire shop, I don't get to weld. No, it turns out I can read a tape measure, so now it looks like I'm being forced into fitting again. Good times. Anyway, guys, yeah, I've been doing it for many years. I hate fitting. I really do not like the responsibility, but for some reason, that is not an option for me to go back into welding. It's more of an option for me to build the stuff and then start welding when the welders don't show up. Yeah. Anyway, guys, let's hit the gym. So like I said, guys, first thing, don't you start any type of exercise program you see on here on YouTube, none of my programs, none of my outdoor survival stuff, unless you speak to a doctor first. I don't want to be responsible for anybody getting injured or having a heart attack or anything like that, all right? Make sure that you work yourself into it, all right? So again, I'm back at it. I am recovered from some serious injuries. One was a bicep tendon tear. The other one was a umbilical hernia. Yeah, I had a thumb growing out of my belly button, picking up stuff that's just too heavy. Yeah, we won't go back into that, why that happened. But anyway, so guys, start small. So right now I got 50 pounds on the preacher curl setup here for the curve bar. That's a good break in, and you know, just check out what your body is used to. When I do sets and reps, I do a series of 8 reps, and that's 1 set, then I stop. Now there's many different ways you can do it, but I am actually going for muscle growth that works the best for me, anywhere from 8 to 12, and you do 4 sets. But I also do a lot of supersets, which is what we're going to be continuing on here. Again, like I said, this is a video that's requested we bring back our outdoor workouts. So yes, there will be loud music, absolutely. Which means this video is not monetized at all. So guys, if you want to help us out on this channel, absolutely. We got the PayPal, we got Venmo, we got Cashapp, we got all that. Or just enjoy the workout. Hopefully it inspires you to get out there and do more, because us as preppers, we are relying on our bodies. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so now that the preacher curls are out of the way, next up is isolated barbell curls. There's no curb bar at all. I keep my elbows tight against my rib cage, and these are actually fast motion pumps, verticals, curls. So I've done skull crushers with an inclined bench. I got to build me another one for those because they really do help the bicep development. But this here also does work very well, just keeping your elbows in tight, keep that body form right, and you are pumping pretty quickly on this. All right, so once that's your 4 sets are over on that one, next are hammer curls. And again, hammer curls in position, you got your dumbbells and you bring them vertically right against your chest. Don't lean them on your chest, but you just take your time. They're not pumping fast, just slow isolate lifts, and you do 4 sets of those. And then when all that's wrapped around, then we do our supersets. And that's all 3 of these different types of workouts for your biceps, one right after the other without breaks. So once you get done with the 3 set, take you a 45-second break, then you go right back at it again. Now, I will be honest, over all your workout sets, you're going to be dropping some weight on this on the bars, which is perfectly fine as long as you've got tension there that you can feel that your arms are actually be working out. Don't work out with 2-pound weights, of course not. But if you're trying to lift heavy, yeah, you'll have to shed off some, but then just do 4 sets of supersets. All right, so now we're on to the tail end of the workout. Again, this is just strictly biceps. For the hammer curls, guys, that's working that bicep muscle right in here against the side of the elbow. It sucks, trust me, I know. But after we get done with all that, now we do our supersets. That is our preacher curls, isolated lifts, and our dumbbell hammer curls. So next up, after you do your main 4 sets, I usually shed down some of the weights and do negatives, focus on negatives. Negatives actually help rebuild a lot of muscle. They tear it down good, so that when you're taking your, you know, your proteins and everything else in your diet to rebuild those arms, it just works so much better. So that's what we got here. We got some 50s on now. Well, 50 total is 25s. And the bar is 10, so 60 pounds, so we'll work on negatives.
Misery, tell your breakfast on a mirror. Taste me, you will see. More is all you need. Dedicated to how I'm feeling you. Controlling faster. Obey your master. Your life burns faster. Obey your master. Master. Master of puppets and pulling your strings. Twisting your mind and slashing your dreams. Lying by me, you can't see a thing. Just call my name, 'cause all you scream. Master. Master. Just call my name, 'cause all you scream. Master. 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 Master.
All right, so again, I'm out here in Florida. It gets nice and warm here. So to wrap up, guys, for the naysayers, and there will be some, and stick around, we're going to do our supplements. I'll show you what I actually do take. For the naysayers, trust me, I hear it all the time. I hear it from fat bodies telling me how I'm doing things wrong, and if I want to lose weight, all I got to do is drink water and get sleep and yada yada yada. Same with build muscles. Okay, so this isn't my first rodeo. Should be some photos popping up here for you guys. I had a real bad injury several years back. I had to have shoulder surgery, knee surgery. I messed up my spine, and I messed up the disc at the base of my skull. So I started gaining weight because, well, I hurt and I got lazy. Well, I needed to do something about it, so I focused on my training and shredded it back down. I think I was 267 or 261 prior, and I got down to 196. That's a good weight for me, because as long as I'm working out and exercising, it's a great weight for me. So yeah, I do know what the hell I'm talking about. This time around, well, that was like 3 years ago. Like I said, I went through my own injuries again, and things slowed down. I gained weight. So I started my exercise and diet program, I guess it's been a month ago, maybe 5 weeks ago. Started at 127. I'm sorry, 227. I'm currently at 213, and I keep on working on it daily. My goal is to get back down to 196. Now I could just focus on dieting alone and lose the weight like that, but I also have to build my muscle mass back up as well. So 196, exercise and working out, eating right, as a good fit for me. So I encourage you guys, give it a shot. We're gonna go inside right fast, and I'm gonna go over what I take on the daily. Sorry, I'm sweating like crazy. All right, so supplement wise, I do have creatine. This is the powder format. I guess I use a blend jet. Works amazing. Creatine. Key thing on this, guys, cycle it through. If you're on it for a month, cycle off a month. Make sure you drink a lot of water too. You will dehydrate yourself. Next up is BCAA powder. I take this daily. It helps with those joint pains and recovery time, along with the beta-alanine. Beta-alanine I'll use once a day. I mix it, all three of these, in one amazing tasting drink. But it helps with recovery in the joints and everything else. So moving on, I do take protein powder. This is isolate protein. This is not my end all be all, but if I'm hungry for a snack, because if you're actually working out to build muscle, you're eating protein about every 2 to 3 hours. Yeah. So when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're craving, instead of running to the peanut butter, which I am notorious about, that's not really a good one. You gain a lot of body fat with peanut butter, guys. I hate to break it to you. Also, we have a testosterone booster. Take a boron. Boron helps, some studies say, help free up free radical testosterone. So yeah, I do take that. I also take some potassium supplements. That also helps with body aches. It helps with the joints too, something I found out works good for me. So yeah, that is that. Of course, I do keep Advil. I take knockoff Aleve. I take Aleve PM. That's not from working out, that's just for being 47.5 years old, still in the welding trade. That's why I take that. So, I will have the comments on the supplements. Again, feel free to send me those photos of you working out, losing weight, and building muscle. And hey, I'll be happy to take a look at those, because I know this works for me, because I did it exactly 3 years ago and got myself back in shape from over 260 pounds back down to 196. It's over 60-pound weight loss. Yeah, so I know my method works. Again, for those that want to tell me I'm doing it wrong, hey, I got an email, send me those photos. I'd love to see how great what your program is, and all programs work differently for everybody else. For those that enjoy the content, hey guys, this is just for biceps. We do chest and shoulders on a different scenario. Every 3 days, I cycle my body through. So biceps today, I won't do them again for 3 days. Tomorrow will be chest and shoulders. Abs, you can actually work out every single day. Once you get used to it. Legs, I try to save to the weekends, because it's kind of hard to crawl around underneath those boats and everything else if you can't stand up because you worked your legs too hard. So anyway, guys, appreciate you hanging out with me, and I'm gonna go take a shower.